Alright, hey there hunters, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds video. Now this is going to be a little different from most of my other Monster Hunter content. I've never actually done a live commentary while hunting in the background, so we're going to give this a go. So if I freeze up or suck or anything like that, just blame it on the fact that I'm doing this for the very first time. But today I want to talk about some stuff, some issues that I have with the current state of Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, I had early access to this game for about 3 weeks before it came out, and I really loved it. Everything seemed to be working great. There was a few skills that were bugged, but nothing compared to what we have now, and that's really kind of why I wanted to make this video and discuss everything, is because there's just a lot of problems, and it's pissing me off. I'll be completely honest. It's really annoying, and it's causing a lot of problems for a lot of different reasons, and I will touch on all those as we get into the video. This is going to be a little bit of a rant video, so definitely a little different from my usual content. I still enjoy the game. I think it's fun. I just think that they have really fumbled the bag here on launch, and yeah, I just want to express my concerns, why it bothers me. And so with me having early access to Monster Hunter Wilds, I went ahead and made a lot of these set videos you guys have been seeing very early, as early as 2.5 weeks before the game even released, because I just expected everything to remain roughly the same, especially as far as skills go. We really didn't give a lot of feedback as far as any skills being broken or anything like that, because for the most part it seemed fairly balanced. We had a lot of very good endgame variety as far as sets go. I don't really know what happened. One of the patches just broke a bunch of stuff, messed shit up pretty bad. For example, Flare 5 was like extremely good, but now Flare is so bugged that Flare level 2 creates wounds the fastest. You can actually see I'm using Flare 2 on this build currently, because it's better than Flare 5. It's actually basically borderline mandatory because it creates wounds so much faster compared to every other level of Flare or not having Flare at all, which is weird, annoying, and overall frustrating because I really enjoyed the Flare 5 sets for their overall comfort. They're fun, you got some lifesteal, but the creating of wounds made it very fun for both multiplayer and actually very strong for single player as well. And so a lot of my sets have Flare 5 in it, and Flare 5 sucks. Flare 2 is the way, and that makes no sense to me or anyone. That's just one example. Basically, when I was using Flare 5 in the early access period, it was like infinite wounds. I mean, it created them very fast, and it created a lot more per hunt. And the issue now is that Flare's not creating extra wounds, it's just creating wounds faster. Hey, what the hell's up with Flare? I mean, it's the same number of wounds, they come out a little bit faster, but yeah, in early access, it was really good. I might repeat myself a lot here, I do apologize. I'm trying to play and read my notes and rant. And the reason I do this is I really do like Monster Hunter. I love Monster Hunter. It's been my favorite game series for 17 years. I've been playing since Freedom Unite back in 2008 when it released here in the States. I saved up all my allowance for over a year to buy a PSP and get Monster Hunter because I thought it looked cool. Yeah, I've been playing ever since. I'm a big fan. World and Iceborne really kicked it in for me, and is really where my love for the game exploded and where I started making content. And I've just been playing pretty religiously for all of those years, and so it's very frustrating to kind of see the state of the game where so many things are bugged that just stacking crit and raw is the best way to go for pretty much every weapon outside of like elemental bow gunning and some SAED charge blade. Also, Corrupted Mantle is busted as shit. This is, I mean, it's the 15th weapon. It's the only mantle in the game. If you're not using Corrupted Mantle, you really should be. For example, other things, focus doesn't work on Switch Axe. It doesn't make your amp state charge any faster, but it works on Greatsword, Hammer, the bowguns, Rapid Fire, and Wyvern Heart Meter. It makes those charge faster, but it doesn't make Switch Axe charge faster. And that was actually an issue in the early testing that we made them aware of that still hasn't been fixed. But issues like that where skills work for certain weapons don't work for other weapons. Like, what's the deal with Part Breaker also not working on certain weapons? Like, I've been hearing that Part Breaker doesn't work on Switch Axe, like it doesn't do the extra damage, which I just think is super weird. The issues with stuff only working on like certain weapons and some skills just not working at all is generally kind of unacceptable to me. Like, that doesn't make any sense as to why that would ever be the case. My only assumption is that they were really rushed to get this game out, and they had to focus on optimizing performance instead of actually fixing what was wrong with the game in order for Capcom to hit their, you know, Q4 2024 financial projections. Like, that's my working theory at the moment. It's the only thing that really makes sense as to why the game would launch in such a bad state. And I don't think it's the devs' fault. I think it's something higher up at the corporate level, but it's impossible to know. But that's kind of my working theory right now. Other examples include like Antivirus 3 saying it gives 15% affinity, but it doesn't. It only gives +10 when you clear the frenzy. Basically, like, the general consensus among, like, all of us playtesters in the early access period was that, like, dude, there's so much endgame variety. We have, like, the gore set bonus and burst and stuff like that for not just raw and crit, but also for making sick element builds. And then crit element doesn't fucking work on anything except apparently heavy bowgun is what I've heard. I just, again, don't understand why these things don't work. Apparently burst also is not currently buffing elemental bowgun, which is weird. It did previously, so I don't know what the deal is all of a sudden with it not. I don't know, if that's intended or if that's a bug or stuff like that. But I mean, we had, you know, like I said, a lot of opportunity for set diversity here in Wilds with the Flayer sets to create wounds and have some extra comfort, as well as the Gore set and the Ebony set. Both Arkveld sets are extremely good. There was just a lot of opportunity to have some, like, unique sets for different weapons and different weapon types and different play styles, and ultimately that just seems to have all gone down the drain. I mean, even bow and dual blades, historically elementally focused weapons, are like, just stack raw now, get 100% crit, and then throw as much damage on it as you can. It's just, like, pretty much nonsensical to me that these are issues in the game, because they really shouldn't be. Most of this stuff worked. Like, I just don't understand why it doesn't work. Like, that should be the bare minimum for shipping a game like this, is that your skills do what they say. As much as I love the Monster Hunter team, and as much as I have trusted them in the past to pull it out and do a good job, and they usually have. Like, I mean, I think back to Rise. Base Rise was a little disappointing, but pretty much all the issues we had with it were fixed in Sunbreak. And it just kind of seems a little nonsensical that we're kind of just having shit that doesn't work. Like, why is that happening? Like, why is that happening in your game? I mean, it's just so weird to me. Like, really, element is dead for no reason. Pretty much every weapon class just wants raw. I mean, I know I've said that before, but I'm just, you know, trying to read my notes and hunt and talk all at the same time. So it's just so weird to me. I mean, we've had things in the past where element has been a little less good than raw, and that's, you know, totally fine. But I mean, there's no endgame variety. It's just like, here's the set, use crit boost, use 100% crit, and go crazy with it. Like, pretty much no point in doing anything else at this moment. Now, I mean, of course, you can always just use stuff that you find fun. There's no rule against that. But I mean, I know a lot of people are always asking what's the best, what's the optimal, what's the perfect, you know, build, weapon, RDN setup, etc. And it's like, you know, that's a vast majority of Monster Hunter players, I feel like. And all of a sudden it's like, well, it's nothing. Just pick raw, make sure your weapon has enough crit so that with Max Might and Wex you can get 100%, throw on the Corrupted Mantle, kill everything in 5 minutes, don't ever change your set. Like, it's just so weird to me. I mean, again, I really do love this game. I still think it's a lot of fun, but it just overall seems so rushed, I guess I would say is probably the right word for that. Like I said, we're pretty much just, like, why does Flayer 2 create wounds faster than everything else? It's just 100% crit, Flayer 2 for wounds, throw on Wex, throw on Max Might, GG easy. Like, the game's already easy enough. Now this complete lack of diversity. And this also just kind of, like, really makes me almost feel like I have to apologize to you guys, because it's like, I made all these sick builds for you guys that totally worked, and now it's like half my comment section is like, hey, you know that, like, this skill sucks, dick, right? I'm like, yeah, I made this build back when it worked. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't code the game. It's just, it's very frustrating. in general to be just a Monster Hunter fan at all, but I mean, not to be all woe is me. I get this awesome opportunity to make content for you guys and have you guys support the channel and stuff like that. Holy frames. Well, and there's that too. I mean, they fixed performance, but I still get stutters like that. I mean, I don't really know. I feel like I don't know what's going on, and that's never really been the case with Monster Hunter before. Like, I pride myself on understanding the mechanics and taking time to test. I mean, I spent close to 30-something hours in the training area across early access in the first week of the game being out to test stuff, so that way it all makes sense. And then everything goes and breaks within 2 days of the game being out because of a couple patches, and like nothing works as intended. Like, I just don't get it. Oh, and really quickly, one other thing that really bothers me is the fact that none of their updates have had patch notes. Like, they made this whole ass Twitter account to give us updates on what's happening with the patches and what they're looking to fix. And there was just a patch. Like, I'm making this video at about midnight on the 7th. And there was just a patch before I booted up to record this footage. And there's nothing on the status Twitter. There's no patch notes. Like, are they fixing stuff? Are they breaking more stuff? Like, what are they updating? Like, what is... This game would benefit massively from patch notes. When you have a player base of over 8 million players, after 3 days, you need to be able to effectively communicate with them what's going on. Like, I just can't overstate how nice it would be for them to just be completely clear and transparent. Even if they were like, hey, we are aware of this issue and we're trying to fix it. Currently, we're unable to fix it without breaking X, Y, and Z, but rest assured, we're working on it. That at least would give me hope that, like, it would return to a similar state of early access, hopefully with more of the skills fixed. But like, just knowing that they're actively working on something instead of just dropping these shadow updates with absolutely no communication whatsoever. It's I know I preface like all of my videos by saying like, oh, just so you guys know, these aren't the like meta Giga Chad DPS speedrunning sets, but you know, they're still strong sets and they'll be fun. But like, I just hate that like all my information is wrong all of a sudden. Like, nothing works. Everything's broken. It's like very frustrating to have to do damage control when, like, I don't know, I guess I would say I didn't do anything wrong, right? Like, I just played the game, everything worked, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work, and now I'm having to respond to, you know, 400 people. Like, yes, it's bugged. Yeah, no, yeah, that skill's bugged now. Why aren't you using this skill? Well, it's bugged. It doesn't work. Why are you using this skill? Well, it used to work, and now it doesn't, so I don't know. That's why I'm using it on this set, because this set was made when it worked, and I feel like an idiot, to be completely honest, which is just a little frustrating. You know, I know you guys are, you know, very supportive, and I've been able to have very good conversations with you guys, and you guys have helped me out a lot in understanding what's broken and what works and what doesn't work, and that's been a huge help, and I'm extremely grateful to you guys for being willing to have those conversations with me and just chat with each other and learn from each other. I'm a big fan of that. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is not what we have come to know from Monster Hunter. Like, it doesn't make any sense that shit is this broken. Other than, like, they were just rushed out of their depth. I don't even know how to put it. Oh, that was sick. Just the state of the game is very weird because it's a fun game. It has good bones. There was a lot of set diversity. There should be a lot of set diversity, but all of a sudden there just isn't. It's like everything's the same. 2 pieces of gore to get your extra crit. If you can't run max might on your weapon, 2 levels of flare. And I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's just really frustrating and just annoying that this is the current state of Monster Hunter. This has never been the case. While, you know, Capcom hasn't always nailed it. You know, we had some issues with Dragon's Dogma 2. The Monster Hunter team always tends to deliver. They don't really miss, and that's something that, you know, I defended them for. I mean, I know a lot of people might say, oh, well, you're a Capcom creator, you're a shill, whatever, you're being paid to do this stuff. I mean, they gave me a free copy of the game, but I was going to buy it anyway. I bought 4 copies of the game and gave them away to people. So, you know, because I was getting it for free, I was like, you know, I want to do this kind of stuff. Oh, dead. Sick guard, LordViettner. Lord skill issue. But I mean, this game has never failed failed me before, and I don't think it has here, but I think they have really let us down. Not necessarily a fail. The endgame system is still fun. I like the Ardian weapons, although I wish we could layer them, but you know what? I'll take layered armor at launch. That's not always something we've had, so you know, we'll take our wins where we can get them. But I think the tempered system is fun. I think the way investigations are farmed is very rewarding and unique. I like the crown system, the decoration farming. It's all... I like the game. It just feels like in the areas where, you know, the small minutia where the game is really made or broken, they've really dropped the bag. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get this video out there because I'm passionate about this series. I love this game, and it's really frustrating to see issues like this just genuinely plaguing the game. I mean, there's so many new players here. To have all these issues where people are like, hey, this is my first game, you know, I'm using this, and I have to be like, well, that's bugged. It doesn't work. You shouldn't use it. You know, go ahead and make this and hope that they fix it. Like, that just shouldn't be the case. I really want this game to succeed, not just for personal reasons, but because I love Monster Hunter, love Monster Hunter as a series, love playing with my friends. Always have, always will. With or without the content creation, this will always be my favorite game series, but to see them drop the ball so hard on so many small details is just, yeah. I mean, I think you guys get it at this point. I'm not going to, you know, beat a dead horse. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the state of the game and what you think about the bugs and all that jazz. Hopefully I made myself pretty clear. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.